Hello everybody, Jennifer here with Canvas Sign Designs. It is time for the May Lettering Challenge. I do this once a month and we make a word collage with some words that are that remind me of this month or the current month, May. And we have been doing this live on my page for a little over a year, and it's been fun, and I always look forward to doing it. So welcome. As you are coming in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from and what the weather's like. It's a little chilly here today. It is May 1st here in Texas, and I have a sweatshirt on because I came over here to my office and I was like, it is cold in here. And so I had to turn the heat on a little bit. I think the high here is going to be 66, which isn't freezing, but you know, for this Texas girl, it's a little chilly. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Welcome. I'm glad you could make it. So if you are new around here, every month on the first Friday of the month, I do a lettering challenge, and I will show you some examples of previous months that we've done. But I put out a list of words each month for every day of the month. These are just really meant to give you something to practice, giving you something to do. If you are like me, when I first started lettering, and I still do this all the time, I would sit down, get all my lettering things, my pens and my paper, and I'd sit down and get ready to letter something. And I would be like, what am I going to write? I don't know what to write. So then I go to Pinterest and look around for some inspiration. And I end up spending more of my time looking for what to write than I do actually practicing my hand lettering. So back in 2018, when I started teaching hand lettering, I came up with these monthly challenge words, one for every day, so that it just takes the guesswork out of what to practice. So if you've got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you want to sit down and practice your lettering, just go to the day of the month and whatever word is on there, practice lettering that word. It's just a really easy way to fit some lettering practice in. And so last year I started doing these little word collages with the lettering challenge words, and everybody loved it. So I have just kind of kept that tradition on every month. And you see some of the past months that we have done here is December. Let's see here. February, March, April, and now we are at May. So we are going to do that today. I am using a multimedia journal. This is 7 by 10. You can use whatever you want. A piece of paper will do. A pencil will do. It's always more fun to hand letter with some fun, colorful markers, I know, but grab any markers. It really does not matter for this. This is just fun. It's playing around. It's a good way to kind of pull out some creativity as we are kind of like figuring out where to put the words. You got to kind of get creative. And if you stick with me to the end, you'll see that I usually have too much space left over or not enough. So it just is a fun way to kind of challenge yourself on some new lettering styles and fitting lettering into weird, funky spaces. So I am glad you're here. Hey, Dylan, how are you? Hey, Michael, how are you? Okay, so we're going to get started. Again, if you are watching, say hello. Let me know you're watching. I love to see all the people watching and who's hanging out with us and who's lettering. Let me know if you're going to try this lettering challenge, if you're going to do it. I'm going to start with writing the word for the month in the middle of the page. That's typically what I do. It's on here. And if you want a copy of this lettering challenge, I posted it on my Facebook page. So just go to Canvas Sign Designs Facebook page and you can just kind of scroll down. I posted it this morning, so it should be there. Click on it. You can take a screenshot so you have it printed out and refer to. Hi, Minta. How are you? Okay, so I like is that your middle name, Minta Cherry? It reminds me of my nails, and it reminds me also of this cute little cherry sign that I have here. How cute is that? Hey, Leonard. Welcome to the lettering challenge. Okay, so I'm going to start. I just kind of picked out some colorful markers. These are Tombow twin tone markers. You can get these at Michael's, at probably Walmart. I like them because they have dual ends here. So there's a bullet tip end here and a super fine tip in here. And these are really just good for these lettering challenges. I like them for doing these. That's typically what I use them for. You could use them for journaling and things like that, but I like using them for these lettering challenges. So let's get started. I think I'm going to use a red for May here. And I'm just going to start by putting the word really big in the middle of the page here. Let's see. And if you're really nervous about like your placement or things like that, you could always do this in pencil first so that you don't have to worry about doing something a little different today. I'm going to tuck that right under there, just like that. And then, of course, I always go back through and kind of thicken up some of these lines. I like my lettering to look a little chunkier and not quite so, I don't like it super skinny like that. But you can do it however you want. I've always just found I feel like it looks a little bit better when it's a little fatter. So I just go through here and just kind of thicken up these letters, and then it also helps me kind of adjust any lines that I have that may be shaky. And again, this is just how I do it. If you are into brush lettering and you like to use a brush pen, you probably won't so much need to do this. But I like to say lettering is really like drawing. If you kind of try to look at it like you are drawing shapes, it kind of puts it into a whole new perspective, because it is an art form and you can draw your letters however you want. Now, if you are also new here, you'll know that sometimes I pause in the middle of a sentence because sometimes it's hard to talk and letter at the same time. I've been doing it for many, many years, but I still sometimes will just be like, I need to take a pause for a second and concentrate on what I'm doing. And sometimes if I don't do that and I get too chatty, I will misspell a word. So I have to be careful with that too. Hey, Deb, how are you? Good to see you here, my dear. How's the weather over there in Florida today, Deb? It's cold here in Texas. I was saying I had to put a sweatshirt on. And it's May 1st. I should not have to be wearing a sweatshirt. I came over here to the office and it was a little chilly. Okay, and so I'm just... And sometimes I will also turn my papers around so I can get a better angle on a letter, like a curve, kind of straighten out. So it really is just a lot of drawing. I think this red is just about seeing its brighter days. I'm really going to try before next month to get some different markers. I thought I need to buy some new markers to test out and use them on the June lettering challenge. I just don't have any markers that are like on the forefront of my brain that I want to try that I haven't already tried. So I don't know what those markers are going to be. So if anybody has any suggestions, I will gladly take them. I just haven't seen anything spectacular come out that I've just been really wanting to try. Okay, so there we have May. Maybe I am going to thicken this up just a little bit more. Hey, Lisa, how are you? You're cold there in Myrtle Beach. Hot and dry in Florida and hoping for rain tomorrow night. It's been raining a lot here. Hey, Miss Sherry, how are you? It's been raining a lot here. A lot. Okay, so our first word is going to be memory. And let's just pick a color. Pick a color, any color. And so I just pick a spot and go with it. So I'm going to start maybe up here. I'm trying to write bigger this time because usually I have a lot of space left over, and I tried to write even bigger last month and I still had space left over. And let's just make these a little thicker. I'm going to spend as much time on these as I did on the big word because these are a little bit smaller, so I'll have to do as much. I'm ready for the summer weather. I know it's going to get hot here in Texas before long, and we're going to be like, oh, bring back spring. But I'm ready for warm weather because this cold weather just makes me not want to do anything. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Warm. She's warm there in Idaho. Well, you are. Enjoy it for us, Michelle. Enjoy it for us. Memory. I'm like, did I misspell that? Okay, so we have happy now. Let's do this color. I'm going to do happy above May because I think that's a perfect little spot for it. And I'm just going to, sometimes I will kind of stack these letters and I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. It's hard to letter with long sleeves. I will kind of stack them around the word underneath. So like if I have two words I'm lettering, a good easy way to make a little phrase is just kind of stack it. And what I mean by that is like, you don't have to be perfectly straight across. You can kind of do it up and down and like to where it's kind of hugging around the second word, the bottom word. So that is what I'm going to do with this. Just going to thicken these up as I go a little bit. And that kind of takes some pressure off of trying to make your letters all perfect. If you can just kind of make them go around this. I might have needed to make happy a little bit bigger to really get the full effect of this, but so you'll see here, this one isn't even with these, and then this one's going to be a little shorter because we're going above this A. And it's just a fun way, like you have like Merry Christmas or Happy Fall or Happy Birthday, just to kind of make that top word imprint and just stack it around the bottom word. It's just kind of a fun way to letter. And when I first started kind of lettering, and then I kind of got into like, you know, lettering phrases and stuff like that, I would see other people doing this. And so I started trying it. And at first I was like, well, mine doesn't look good like theirs. You know, when you're staring at your own work for some reason, it just doesn't look as good as you feel like it looks when you look at other people's work. And that is just something that is in our head. That is not truth. But we tend to look at our own work just a little differently than we look at other people's. So I just want to encourage you to don't pay attention to that little voice in your head that's like, mine isn't as good, because it is. You're just looking at it through different eyes, you know? Okay. Oh, grow. Grow is our next one. So I'm going to use green. Let's use a light green here. I think I'm going to do it around this. So again, I'm trying to make these a little bit bigger than normal. And with these lettering challenges, I like to kind of utilize the space as much as I can. So I curled this up under this word here, and then I saw that there's some blank space up here, so I decided to kind of curl that or loop this around in that extra space. So the point to this would be to kind of sandwich everything in, nest everything in, I guess is a better word for it, which is my favorite way to hand letter, is to nest your letters. Make them all kind of fit together like a little puzzle piece. I always have such fun trying to do that. It's like a little challenge. And so I used to have to do that when I was lettering things on signs at like paint parties. Sometimes people would want like this long last name on this little bitty space. And so I would be like, how am I going to fit this together? How is this going to work? Because there's not enough space for this. And so I started doing that. Let me scoot this over just a little bit. I started kind of having to practice out of necessity, really, at the paint parties, and it just became really fun for me, a fun way to hand letter. So that's why a lot of times you'll see me like add in a capital letter in the middle of a word or something like that, is because when I first started lettering like that, I was doing that to try to like maybe fill the space, or I need to just fix this right here, or make something work. And then it just sort of became my lettering style. So if you are newer to hand lettering and you're feeling like, I don't have a lettering style, you know, like everybody else has a lettering style, but I don't have one. I didn't have one either for years. My lettering style was a hodgepodge of what people wanted, or what, you know, what I was testing out at the time. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, it takes a while before that comes to you. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Keep practicing your lettering. And the more you do that, that's like the first step. It's like, you're not going to start running before you start crawling, right? So it's just, it is a gradual learned skill, and it's not something that you're going to have automatically. So maybe you did. I don't, but, or I didn't, but give yourself a little bit of grace there, because, you know, you can't learn all the things at once. Okay. It's a process. Okay. The next word is journey. Let's see. Let's do journey here. I'm like, how am I going to write this? Let's see. What kind of fun way do I want to write this? I really try to branch out on these lettering challenges, and then I usually end up just doing the same old thing. How about this? I don't know. This just came to me. So sometimes when I am lettering, like, I'll just do a certain letter a certain way, and I'm like, I don't really know why I did that, but here we are. Jour. R. How about if I do NE and then Y? I know that's kind of weird, but that's the point to this lettering challenge, is to just have fun with it. Jour. And just make it fun and funky. Sometimes you just, I mean, all the time, but Sometimes you just need to get your lettering pens and markers and just have fun with it. Stop like worrying about a certain outcome or making it perfect or all of the things, and just enjoy the process. Who said that? Trust the process is what Lisa said, right? Trust the process, enjoy the process, like have fun with it. I know you were saying that, Lisa, to something else, but I think we forget to just have fun. Like the whole point to learning a hobby and doing crafts and things like that is because it brings us joy. And I think sometimes as adults, or a lot of times as adults, we lose sight of that because we feel like it needs to be perfect or that people are going to be judging us. Listen, people are going to judge you even if your hand lettering is perfect. People are still going to judge you. It amazes me what people find to criticize about other people. There's just going to be unhappy people out there that are going to judge you no matter what you do. Either you're too perfect or you're not perfect enough, or I don't like that font you're using, or why are you using those markers? Like, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to judge you, and you don't have to show anybody. Just have fun with it. Enjoy it. Have fun. So that's kind of a fun little funky way of writing that. And I always tell my lettering students too, like, you ain't trying to submit this to the art gallery, okay? It's just lettering practice. So quit being so hard on yourself. We are not, your life does not depend on what that looks like, you know? Like, just have fun. Yes, love the journey in your writing. Like, it's just a hobby. It's just for fun. And I think sometimes we get fixated on like it's got to look a certain way, and we get mad at ourselves, and then we turn around and tell our kids not to do that, right? We tell our kids not to behave like that, not to be so hard on themselves, and not to do all those, but then we do it to ourselves. So I always just like to say, like, if it's not something you would say to your child, don't say it to yourself or to somebody that you love. May not have to be your child, but like, we don't say, oh, you're not good at that. You practice it a few times. You should probably just give it up. We would never say that to our kids, but yet we say our inside voice says it to ourselves, right? The next word is success. So I'm going to go with like just a cursive, I think. So we say that to ourselves, and we get hard on ourselves. I kind of look at little things like my 8-year-old putting her shoes on. And sometimes she gets so frustrated because she doesn't loosen up the laces. Like this morning, she was wearing these high tops and she didn't loosen up the laces. And so, of course, her feet are not going to immediately go in there. And she's getting so frustrated, like, I can't do it. And it's like, what if she just stopped trying to put shoes on for the rest of her life? I know this is a dumb analogy, but this is just what came to me, like, what if she was just like, I can't put shoes on. I'm terrible at it. I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, is she ever going to be able to figure out how to put that shoe on, to loosen the laces, to stretch it out so that her foot can go? Yes, of course. But you got to work at it, and you got to try it and try different things and problem solve and, keep going. And so it's just the same thing with anything else that we do, right? Like we just as adults, I don't know, I guess we just assume that we should be able to pick things up faster, and we should be able to do things faster, and everything should come quicker. I mean, I guess kids do too. And we forget to give ourselves grace. We give kids grace and tell kids to give themselves grace, but we forget to do that to ourselves. Or we would tell our friend, like, oh, you just started it. You're new at it. Give it some time. You can do it. You're just having trouble. I try to tell Abby, like, not to say can't, but I'm trying to like train her to be like, no, we don't say you can't do it. We just say I'm having trouble doing it, because we can do it. It's just a whole like reframing the way the words that we use, because our words have so much power over our minds. Like So just sometimes reframing that to not like, I'm not good at hand lettering. It's, I need more practice at hand lettering. Those are two different statements. And it completely changes the way your mind thinks of it. So I encourage you, if you feel like you're not great at it, to keep trying and say to yourself, I'm just having trouble. I need to practice more, because that's all it is. Okay, success. Deb said her military cop dad always says, can't never did anything. That's what we used to say too, Deb, here in the South. Can't never could do anything. Can't never could do anything. And it's so true, right? It is so true. Exactly. Elizabeth says there's only one perfect person who isn't currently walking on earth. Amen. Lisa said, we watch others who have done something for years and expect to do it the same after one tutorial. It's so true. Hey, Valerie, it's so true. And like, even myself, like hang on just one second. Sorry. I've been doing this for years, and mine is still not perfect. I still will look at anything that I hand letter and be like, that doesn't look very good. I don't like it. What color am I going to do? Hats. I can pick out anything about it. Like, we're not perfect. We are not a computer, and that's not what hand lettering is about. Hand lettering is more of a craft and for enjoyment, right? It is not to be perfect. Like, that's, if you were perfect at it, what would be the fun of doing it, right? I think sometimes we forget. I want to do like a little, let me just draw this out real fast, because I don't want to mess it up in marker. I was trying to do a little graduation hat. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Well, I'll just draw it out. But you just can't forget to learn. You can't forget to enjoy the process, because that's the whole point of it. And if you lose sight of that, then you get frustrated. You're not enjoying it. Why are you even doing it? You know? And like I said, I always tell all my lettering students to, it looks like that's, all my lettering students to use a pencil first. If you are unsure, just use a pencil, and then you can erase. You get the opportunity of a redo when you use a pencil first, and then go over it in your marker. Then you'll kind of really start to, let's see, I wonder if I could do diploma around here so somebody's not like, what? You'll really start to kind of see what you're constantly erasing, and it just kind of helps trigger your brain ahead of time to watch out for that. Like, oh, I always end up having to erase my Y's because I always make them too skinny, or, you know, whatever, just using that as an example. Then when you start to, like, it, you'll kind of train your brain to think about it ahead of time, so that as you're doing that particular letter that you always mess up, you'll think, oh, I always mess up here. Let me try to correct it before I do it. That's what really helped me when I first started learning how to hand letter, is doing a pencil first, and then just kind of teaching myself, paying attention to where I mess up the most and trying to correct that over time. DIPLO. There, that's cute. Diploma. I don't know. That helped me. So that's what I always tell everybody to do. And it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, right? Thank you. Deb said she really liked the graduation hat. Thank you. Let's see. Diploma. Fun. Okay, fun is the next one. We're going to do this in orange. Let's see. Where could I do this? It would be a fun spot to put it. I think up here I could do it up here. I've had these markers, y'all, since like 2020. I'm not even kidding. How many years is that? Like 6 years. I've had these since before COVID. Like shut everything down. Can you believe that? That's how well these markers have lasted. I don't use them a ton, but I mean, that's getting your money's worth out of some markers there. They didn't dry up. It's a good testament to how well they work. I was just thinking that because I was thinking a few of them are starting to get, like I can tell the tips aren't as like firm. Okay, that just squeezed in there good. Fun, and then school needs to be in red, I think. But I don't want it near there, so let's do maybe over here. I don't want to put all that type of words over here. I'm using the Tombow Twin Tone are the name of these. And these are great because I have two ends, super skinny and then that bullet tip. These are great for stuff like this. I don't like them for everything, but I do like them for this. I was just thinking about doing this. And yes, I do my S's upside down because, or backwards, because I feel like I can get a prettier S that way. So no rules, do your own thing. I was thinking about doing this. Hopefully I don't. It's like, hopefully I don't mess this up. This doesn't look like a schoolhouse. I don't know. We'll just leave that there like that. School, and then we already did May. That was the next word. Bright. Let's do that in this color. Let's see. Trying to think of how I want to write this word. Just thinking about doing it right here. Now I know that I only have this much room to do this word. So for those of you that struggle with your spacing, this is kind of, sometimes I will write it in the air like BRIGHT so that I can kind of see how much room that I'm going to have. And then after each letter, I just kind of evaluate how much space that I have left. And sometimes it's still, you know, I still run out of room. It happens. I still do that to this day. But you're not going to hit home runs every single time. BR. Let's do this. Make it look a little bit. BRIG So I'm going to make sure I make my letters very narrow because I know I'm getting close here. And then I'm going to do a very narrow H. And then I'm going to do a T like this. Let's just cross it over both of those. Okay. There, we made it fit. Barely got that. Good. Let's see let's do this. Good. Let's do it right here. I just made this G the same way as the other one here, but not that that matters for anything, but in my mind I was going to do it differently, but my hand had different plans. So I'm trying to think, do I want to do a D? Do I have room to do that? Thinking in my head here, a D. I don't think it's gonna, never mind. Was kind of thinking of doing a little cursive D, a little flourish at the top, but okay, good. Now we got, hey, Miss Regina, I almost wore the earrings that you got me today. Regina got me the prettiest earrings. This is my friend Regina. If y'all don't know who she is, her business, type your business name in there, Regina, so that they can all go follow you if they don't already. But she is so amazingly talented, and she got me these prettiest earrings. They're like pink and like this teal green color. They are so pretty. They're like these colors and flowers. Oh, they're so cute. But I had the red nails on, and I was like, I don't know if the red nails are going to go with those. So, you know, and also my friend with Pink Cow Designs is here with us, and y'all go follow her too. She's awesome. Yeah, we just get so we are just too hard on ourselves. We are too hard on ourselves. Okay, so my next word was celebrate. I got the perfect spot. I think I'm going to do it right here. A little different. A little different. Let's turn this. I'm going to kind of turn it toward this. Feels like it's straight for me. But yeah, Regina's really good about trying to encourage people to have fun, right? Don't grow up. Have fun. Because, you know, you only got this one life here. And why does it got to be so serious all the time? Like, we don't have to be so serious all the time. Like, what is the point if we can't have a little fun and make ourselves laugh and enjoy things? So quit putting things off that you want to do because you're worried about failing or you don't think you're good enough. Like, who cares? It is about the journey, not the destination, as they say. But it really is. Like, we just, I don't know. I think something happens in our grown-up brain where we just feel like we gotta be so serious all the time. Everything's got to be so important. Like, have fun. Because you know what? At the end of your days, are you going to look back and go, "Ah, that was so good at hand lettering. I was such a good painter." No, you're going to be like, I really had fun doing that. I enjoyed it. It fulfilled me. It made me smile. It made me happy. Do things that make you happy, because you may not always be able to do them. You know, do them while you can. I'm really going off on my TED Talks today. Hey, Marie, how are you? Marie is another amazing artist. And she is always having, I feel like you're always having fun, Marie. You're always doing something fun. Every day she's doing something fun. I need to follow my own advice. I need to do more fun things. Marie's been making a lot of earrings lately, and they are so dang cute. Isn't it fun when you have like a new craft and you're just trying something out for the first time? Like, I'm going to be trying some like, what is it called? Like needle point or like embroidery type stuff here. We're going to do it in the Happy Lettering Club coming up. And I'm so excited because it's like something new. Yay. Creative people love something new, right? We love to try new hobbies, new things. Okay, so let's do mom. I think I'm going to do that in pink because I already have several red. I was thinking about doing a heart and doing mom in the heart. Is that kind of silly? I mean, I'm going to say it was a pretty good heart. I'm surprised. I always do. This side is always really skinny and flat, and this side is nice and open. I'm very shocked that I did that so well. Marie, have you done any like earring parties or anything at your studio? Have you done that where people are going to come in and make the earrings? Because I think that would be so fun. Marie said life is heavy, so try to keep the light in every day. Sorry, I can't read good out loud. And lately she said the earrings bring her so much joy. Valerie says, I have to remember that someday my lettering looks like I'm using my feet to write with, and other days it looks great. I need to remember to practice every day. Oh, Valerie, that is so true. There are some days where I sit down to letter and I'm like, look, today ain't my day. Okay. Today ain't my day. Like some days you're just more shaky or you're not as good, but usually if you warm your hand up first, kind of do some practicing before you do the thing that the project or whatever you're doing, that will usually help. Okay, so I was going to letter mom in here. And so there's 3 letters in mom, and I want to fill this heart up. So a good way to do that is I know my O is going to be in the middle here, so I can go ahead and do that first. And then that way I know where to put the 2 M's. I'm just going to build around this here. And who's happy it's Friday? I am happy to sleep in tomorrow. I mean, some of y'all, it may not make a difference, but I still got that 8-year-old to get up and get ready for school. Okay, which I'm trying to treasure and remember. She's not always going to be getting up and getting ready for school. One day I'm going to miss it. Marie says she doesn't have anything planned, but I'm the second person to mention it. Regina says she should do it too. So now your wheels are spinning. See, Marie, you need to do it. We're speaking to you. You need to do that. I think that would be fun. I've thought about doing that in the Happy Lettering Club, like 1 month doing earrings, like painting, but you don't really hand letter on earrings. So I feel like it just doesn't go with the Happy Lettering Club, but I think it would be fun to make earrings anyway. Okay. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anybody saying hello. Dina with Designs by Dina is here. Hello, welcome. How are you doing today? Okay, all right. So there's Mom, and this would look cute too if you just did some little flowers around it. Like, let's just do some little, let's just do, I know we're supposed to be lettering, but you know, let's just, easy little way to do a few little flowers. Just do little circles. Let's see, let's do a blue one. We're doing the cheating flowers here. Now we'll do our green. And the good thing about these two is that they have this little teeny tiny little tip. So you could use that. And then I usually do some of these. I don't know, you probably can't even see that. Let's see if I can make it a little darker so it's a little easier to see. And then you could also do just a little, oh, let me do these first. Flowers are kind of one of those things that sometimes I do flowers and look amazing and the leaf placement looks awesome. And sometimes I do it and it looks like garbage. So is anybody else the same way? Like sometimes I feel like, oh, those flowers, like when I used to do like flower signs, sometimes I would like do the placement of the leaves and they look great. And sometimes I would do it and I'm like, what's happening? What is that? So I don't know if anybody else is the same. Dina, I'm using these Tombow Twin Tone. So Tombow Twin Tone, they have this teeny tiny skinny and this bigger tip. They're kind of like really markery, like alcohol-y kind of. So I don't use them on everything, but I like them for this because they have all these just the best colors. They just have a lot of fun colors that I like to use for these. And then I feel like, you know, they have the skinnier tip is good. They're really good for like journaling or writing things in your planner, stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily use them for everything lettering, but I do use them for a lot of stuff. Let's see, we have Teach. Let's go with, I'm going to do orange. I think I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to wait and do my little crossbar until I'm done with the other letters. So I'll show you. Sometimes I do that to kind of see where the other letters are going to line out. You can also do that sometimes like on an R if you want to like curl, or like this if you want to curl that under. Just wait and don't do that until you've made this letter. That way you can make it kind of then fit together very nicely. Make it look like it was very well planned out, but really just kind of, I don't want to say cheated because it's not really cheated, but so now I know like how much space that how long I can make this. because it's going to go up to the A. I'm going to make this a little taller. Okay, teach, and then we have graduate. So we have hats. I should have done, maybe I'll do graduate here. Let's do it in blue. Let's pretend like these were supposed to be together. I'm going to try it and do it in the skinny one. But I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it, but I feel like the other one may be too fat and it's like too thick. Make these too thick. So I'm already going to have trouble fitting this in here, but we're going to do it. Usually if you have a little, like a small space and you don't have a lot of room, capital letters in print are the skinniest ones that you'll be able to get. So if you're ever struggling with space and you don't know how to fit something in, try to do print. GRA. Those are always going to be the most space saving. Cursive takes up a lot of space. U. A. Do y'all know anybody graduating this year? Anybody have anybody graduating this year? Regina, if you're still on here, are you still on here, Regina? I bought your 2026 CAP graduate file and cut out a bunch because I'm going to make some little graduation gifts with it. I don't know if anybody's on here. Anybody has a laser machine or you do hand lettering templates. I'm gonna grab it and show you because it's so cute. I know this is off topic here, but I'm not done with it. I haven't finished it, but I made little charms out of it. And she sells this, Regina with Kitchen Confetti. She sells this file on her Etsy, and the lines are etched so you can see. And so our colors are red and black. So I'm going to put their name here and, like, doodle it up and then hang it like a little ornament or charm. And then this is really cute to put with like a gift card or something like that. So I don't know if Regina's still on here, but, if y'all follow her page, Kitchen Confetti, but not kitchen like the kitchen. Kitsch and confetti. Dina said her granddaughter is graduating. Marie said her son turned 18 this month and graduates this year. Oh, that's so hard. I swear I went into like a depression when I've had two daughters that have graduated, but for some reason, when the oldest one graduated, I didn't get as sad. I don't know why. But when the second one graduated, I was just like, oh my gosh, I think it's just, because you're realizing, like, I don't know, maybe I was just still in the weeds of life when the oldest one graduated, but it's just so sad. Like, you're happy for them and it's awesome, but it's also sad. Let's do congrats. And I haven't done a lot with this, so let's go over here. Congrats. Let's stack these letters because we got quite a few to go. Wonder if I could do congrats. That might be a little too weird. Let's just do it. I'm thinking. I'll just do it. I'll just do it here. Marie, I know you're in the template library, and there are some, if you search up like graduation or grad, GRAD, there are some cards, some card templates for graduation in there. And I use them every year for, I've got a reel that I'm editing where I made one last year, but I usually make them every year for people graduating, and they're just a fun little card template. So, and of course you can use it as a sign. Okay, let's see here. Congrats, proud. What color do we need? Let's use this blue, and let's go here, and let's do it. Trying to think of how I want to write it. Oh, you. Proud, and then support. What color are we going to do that? Let's do that in orange down here. SU, we got P's, and so that's going to dip down. So I'm thinking I was going to do it here in cursive, but I know the P's would dip down where this is. So just, I know to think about this. Let's do it around this heart. I think that might be cute. So just like how I was talking about happy, kind of like, you know, layered on top, or not layered, I don't really know, stacked on May. I'm going to do that with support here on top of this heart. E. It's like a spelling test for me. I'm not very good at spelling. O-R-T. Support mom. Okay. Let's see. Support, inspire. So what color? We haven't done this one. And I like inspire. So let's do it right here. Or should we do it right there? Let's see. Let me think. I-N-S-P-I-R-E. I think right here is going to be better. Also, when you're hand lettering, slow it down. When you go fast, you're very likely to make mistakes. And I have to remind myself that all the time, especially when I'm on these lives, because I'm feeling like, oh, you know, people are going to get tired of watching. I need to hurry, which is dumb because they can just, you know, quit watching if they want to. But like I tend to get in a hurry. And when you slow it down, you just have time to think about forming the letters. You give your brain and your hand time to kind of communicate with each other, because otherwise your brain just kind of tells your hand, you know, you're just working on autopilot a lot. And sometimes you just, you know, make those movements without even, before your brain has time to like think about what you do. Like your hand's already like got a brain of its own, if you know what I mean. So it kind of just slows it down to give the time for your hand, your brain to communicate with your hand. Inspire. Okay. Sunshine, we got to do it in this color, and we can do it up here. I wonder if I did sunshine here. I don't know. We'll wait. I'm going to do it just like support and happy. I'm going to do it like here. So I'm going to start. I almost smeared that. Sunshine. We need some sunshine up in here. So I am running out of room again. So H-I-N-E. I'll be able to do it. But just stopping and pausing and kind of looking, see where you're at, kind of get a feel of it will help. And so also here, like I could have started this N right here, which would have scooted it over a little bit more, but I knew that was tight on space. So instead of starting it here, I started it above this I and just kind of nesting them together in an attempt to save space. Sunshine. Okay, let's see. Smile. Let's go with this one again. I'm going to do it over here. I wonder if I could do it right there. I mean, I could do it anywhere I wanted to, really. I could also do S-M-I-L-E. How about this? I'm going to start it here. Trying to think. S-M-I-L. Ooh, I'll do a little smiley face there. I'll start it here. And know if you do this, if you have little spaces, you know, like with nothing, you'll kind of see at the end, I just fill it in with some like doodles and things. I feel like I'm doing lots of print this time. Smile. And then I can do a little smiley face there. That's cute. Okay, smile. Now we have gift. What? Let's see, we can do this. Why do I just want to pick green every time I have a word that starts with a G? That's the third time. We're not going to do you. We're not going to pick you yet. Let's go with, I could do this dark blue down here. Also here would be a good spot for that. Here would be a good spot. Let's do there with pink. Because then I can do this. And go vertical with it. This is where it starts getting kind of tricky. You got to start, you know, getting creative. I'm going to run out of room. But we're just going to continue it down here and be okay with that. Gift and then kind. Let's see, what color have I not used in a while? I could do blue, kind, right here. Let's do that. I think I'm going to do kind. All right. If you ever made a calendar, these would be great, cute. Oh, that's a good idea, Marie. Doing a little calendar and this be the picture for the month. I like that idea. Isn't it nice how we can just give each other ideas and like fuel each other's creativity? Like that's so fun to be able to have a space on here where we encourage each other, lift each other up, give each other ideas, help inspire each other. That's such a good idea, Marie. Hey, Julie, how are you? Welcome. Oh, Elizabeth, you're so sweet. She said, me and Danielle Stringer, which is my little bestie over at Imperfect Dust, amaze me with your lettering skills. I love watching you both. Thank you. I always watch Danielle letter, and I'm like, how does she just letter so perfect every time? Like, she never messes up. That's what I think when I watch her. I'm like, she's just so effortless at it. It's just funny. Isn't it funny how we think of things like that differently? Like we see ourselves differently. Let's go with bloom here. Let's do it. I want to do something in cursive because I feel like I haven't, but I don't have a lot of space, but I'm going to just kind of go small with it. Oh. And so see, this is what I like about doing these little lettering, I don't know, collages, challenges, is because now I'm starting to get low in space. I'm having to kind of do things a little differently than I would normally. Like normally if I was putting this together, I wouldn't make bloom kind of like, just a little, it's not totally straight, but just a little crooked. But I did that because I wanted the B and the L to go here because I knew I would have more room. So it kind of forces you to think a little bit more creatively about your lettering. And that's why I want to call it a challenge. You're so sweet, Elizabeth. Thank you. Marie said, I would buy it. I really think that's a good idea, Marie. I think I might do that because I have a whole year's worth of these and I could pull them into Procreate and like adjust things that maybe I didn't like about it and do that. That would be a really, really good idea. And Elizabeth said, you're watching while pruning massive trees. I wish I had some trees to prune out here. I mean, I have a bunch of cedar trees and they're just surrounding the house, but I love pulling weeds. Do y'all like pulling weeds? I love pulling weeds. Like, I love it so much. There's something about pulling weeds that I just love. Okay, so brave is going to be our next word. And I'm trying to think, where can I write that? I think I'm going to do it in this, which this color does not remind me of the word brave, but I need that color over here. What if I did it? Maybe here. I love doing like yard work, things outside. I just love being outside. I love being outside. Brave. Okay, so we have like a few words left and I think we're doing good on our space. I'm actually proud of myself this time. Family. I'm going to do that right here. And let's see, what color am I going to do that? Maybe I'll do it in this blue again. be a little bit bigger with some of these words since we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I did my Y kind of different because of that H there, which I'm sure y'all know that. Family, friends. Let's do friends. So I could do maybe a pink down here. Again, I'm going to pay attention to my spacing because I know I have this much. And I think I have plenty of room, but I don't want to come close and then have this kind of extra space here. So let's see, FRIENDS. I think it's going to be perfect amount of space. FRIENDS. I'm going to go with a D like this so I can use some of that space. Perfect. Look at that. That worked out well. Cheers. So we have like a few spots left here, here, here. I could use this here. So we have cheers, create, and vibes. So let's do, I'm going to do vibes right here. And what color? I could do it in this color here. I have a thought. B. E. And so there's a little space here, so I'm just going to make this one short, but this one a little bit longer. And let's make our S a little bit thicker, so it kind of, or not thicker, but like wider, so it kind of stretches that out a little bit. There. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, that was the last word. So we got cheers and create. I got a little ahead of myself. Cheers and create. I think one can go here and one can go here, and then we can just do little pictures in between all of the others. So let's see. I could do this. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do create here. Let's see if I can figure something out. See. That's cute. I like that. I do have this funky space here, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so create and then cheers. I could do cheers here, but I also feel like, let me think, best spot to put this. That's a good little spot for a picture or something. I want to do cheers, Cheers, Cheers. We're going to do this. This is a little unconventional, but we're going to do this. And we are going to do it. Oh, I haven't used that color in a while. We're going to do it in this color. And we're just going to see what happens here. I'm just going to make this all kinds of crazy. I could do Cheers, but I think I'm going to do this. CHE. Let's do this. Skinny, and then we're going to go real big with it. Okay, it's a little weird, but it's okay. So you could either do polka dots, you can do flowers, you can do add more words if you wanted to with your little space left over. But let's do, I keep looking at this and it's just bugging me and I got to fix it, y'all. And you probably can't even see it, but just on that Y, it's just a little, this is a little lumpy and it's just going to bug me. Things you see, the more you know, the more you see, right? The better you get, the more you can spot out things. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, we could do some polka dots. I'm trying to think what to do here. Could do a flag, but I don't know what my flag is going to turn out to be. Thank you, Deb. Elizabeth said she loves everything about yard work. It just fuels your soul. I feel like just like being out in the yard, pulling weeds, doing yard work. There's just something that feels so good about it. Especially I love like on the weekends, like Sunday afternoon, say like doing stuff out in the yard, and then you come in the evening and you have an early dinner. I don't know. There's just something about that I love. Okay, let's see. What am I going to do? Let's just do this stuff. Let's just do like some polka dots. Random. This is just the easy way to fill up your space. I just kind of take these and dot them like in areas where it's not close to the same color. So like, which brings a little bit of that color into some areas that it isn't already there. And obviously, if I'm at home, like, you know, just kind of, I mean, I am at home. But if I'm like just chilling, doing this on my own, maybe I want to put it down, come back to it. You could get really creative. Like you could just do some flowers, all kinds of things. But I'm not going to keep y'all here for 5 years while I, you know, perfect my drawing. But I did have just an idea in just a second that I'm going to do. there. Because you can also add some funness to May. I can like do a little bit of not shadowing necessarily, but I can add some shadow type things to it to kind of help fill up that space. And I think this would be a good color for it. Let's just use this. So I have a lot of this white space here. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm outlining it a little bit. Add some little dots. That way to see. That just made it look so much better than not having like just too much white space around it. So cute. Okay, I think we're done here. Here is our May. So I try to make this a little bit different. And of course, when you do the lettering challenges year after year after year, you want to do new words that aren't the same as the words that you did last May. You know, let me see what my book. Let's look at what I did last May. You want it to look a little bit different. So I was trying to think of words that, you know, maybe were a little bit different than my words the previous year. So let's see. These are our little journal pages that we do in the Happy Lettering Club, by the way. We do one of these every month, and they are so fun. This is what we're doing for May. This one right here. Isn't that cute? Let's see. Oh, here's May. So see, this May looks a little different than this May, but they're both May. So I'm trying to like, you know, make it a little bit different. I really like this one. I wish I would have done Hello May bigger, but do you see, I got a lot more creative with this one, doing like little doodles and kind of little fun shadows on here. So you can just do this one. I messed up, so I had to make it work. But there's, you know, there's all kinds of little extras that you can add in to just, I don't know, make it cute. So I love that these really did turn out very, very different. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. There's just a lot of spammers on here today, aren't there? Ignore the spammy stuff. Okay, y'all. Okay, Marie, I'm on it. That's a really good idea. I'll have to implement that for 2027, which that even feels insanely crazy to say that we're about to be in 2027, right? Like, what? I mean, we're not about to be. We just started 2026, but you know what I'm saying. We're almost halfway through. But that's a really good idea. I guess a lot of people do they start like planners maybe in August sometimes? I don't know. But that's a really good idea, Marie. I'm gonna do something with that. Okay, you guys, happy Friday, happy May. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and enjoy whatever it is that you do this weekend. Make sure that you put joy in it and that you have fun doing it. And let's try not to make things so boring and serious, okay? That's your job. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye.